I'm back, and today we're talking about Bud Light, or more specifically, feasting on the remains of the carcass of Bud Light. I hope you're ready, because Bud Light isn't. Now, before we begin, we're going to need to pour ourselves a glass, nay, a handled mason jar of gloat. This is going to be so much gloating. No, we're going to need a lot more gloat than that. Perfect. I just want to point out that this video didn't have to be made. We could be talking about totally other things and Bud Light could be living its best life as the #1 selling beer in America, but Bud Light made a choice. They decided to partner with Dylan Mulvaney. They decided to throw themselves into the heart of a culture war and then be shocked, completely shook, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that customers are angry at us. You mean to say that people like Dylan Mulvaney are not our primary customer? That's so shocking. Bud Light, you chose to get involved in the wrong side of a culture war. And then there was that crazy executive right after that. You know who I'm talking about. Don't know her name, but we all know who I'm talking about. She ran out there and she's like, yeah, Bud Light is kind of like a fratty, out-of-touch brand. Thus, the customers are apparently fratty and out of touch. And Bud Light is like, wow, she should not have said that. And we're like, are you going to apologize? And they're like, no, absolutely not. So the boycott is in full rage, and might I say, quite successful. We're talking 25% or more sales declines every single week for Bud Light. Oh, one moment. Absolutely delicious. I love this gloat. Guess what Bud Light has still refused to do? We're now in mid-July when I'm filming this video. This happened at the very beginning of April. And guess what they've still not done? Guess what they've still not done? They still haven't issued an apology. Like, how much money do you guys want to lose? I have seen so many people in the media and experienced professionals in the field who are just like, I just don't understand. Why does this boycott keep going? Maybe it's because Bud Light, A, refuses to apologize and admit what they did was wrong, and B, in the middle of all of this, instead of having a functioning brain, Bud Light decided to make it better with their customers. They would go out and sponsor a bunch of pride parades. Truly, not joking, that's what they did. Like, imagine working at Bud Light, getting paid God only knows how much money in order to do the dumbest things possible at every stage of the journey. Like, hire me. Oh my gosh, apparently you can just do whatever you want and get a huge paycheck. Put me on the payroll, Bud Light. Sign me up. Oh, but the saga gets so much better. Guess who complained about Bud Light just a few days ago? Guess. Answer, Dylan Mulvaney. Dylan Mulvaney made a video being like, Bud Light didn't stand by me during this experience. And guess what happened within 24 hours of Dylan Mulvaney making this statement? Bud Light issued an apology. Oh, so for months, we can complain. And Bud Light will give us nothing. Absolutely nothing. Dylan Mulvaney complains, Democrats get angry and complain, immediately bow down and worship, do whatever they want, an immediate apology. This is why the boycott won't end, because you want us, conservatives, to give our money to people who have shown again and again that they hate us. You're the customer that they have, not the customer that they want. That's what this whole thing has been about. Replacing you with a more desirable, hippie, woke, liberal audience, because apparently they drink more beer than conservatives. I don't know. I don't work at Bud Light's marketing. If I did, they'd still be a successful brand. But I've come up with a quick list of demands from Bud Light if they want this boycott to end. Shall we begin? Number 1, apologize and promise to never do it again. We're still on step 1, still waiting for that. Number 2, fire at least 1/4 of your corporate level, because clearly there is a woke disease that has infected Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch as a whole, and that disease needs to be ripped out by the roots. Number 3, we want these people who have just been fired to be replaced with known conservatives. Why? Because if you want us, conservatives, to give money to you after you needlessly sided with the left in the culture war, again, you did this to yourself. If you want our money, we need to make sure that our voice is heard, and we do that by having a seat at the table. And honestly, Bud Light, we should probably have some representation on the board as well. I know you might be sitting there thinking, no, I'm not doing these demands, and you know what? That's completely within your right. If you want to burn down your company, more power to you. If you want to watch these once great brands burn to ashes overnight because of wokeness, that is up to you. But if you want to win us back as customers, as you keep claiming that you do, our demands will have to be met. In the meantime, I shall sit back, relax, put up my feet, and enjoy my delicious glass of Gloat. I almost forgot to mention that I, yours truly, has the honor of being able to say that I've officially been blocked by the actual Bud Light account. And you know what, Bud Light? That's fine. You can block me, but you can't get my money. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed this longer form content and you'd like to see more of it, please hit the like button to help me in the algorithm. Give me a follow if you're not already following, and please consider supporting my channel on Locals. Just look up The Gay Republican. The culture war is just heating up, it's just getting good, and I have a suspicion there's gonna be a lot more gloat to come.